All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And salutations to the Akim out there laboring of the hopeful elect that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And pretty much want to land back on the apostle, pretty much exposing Tucker Carlson, pretty much him being exposed to the truth. And what you have here, it was an interview that he has done with President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, and you see this right here as a freeze frame where he's summoning one of his assistants, pretty much to give him what we want to call receipts. Okay, because during this interview, during when he went to Russia about 3 months ago, Putin pretty much went on a history of Russia and Ukraine. Now, to bring this whole video full circle, I'm going to go back and pretty much play snippets from what the apostle had put up with Tucker Carlson pretty much making a comment and also encountering Great Millstone. Well, pretty much that was about maybe about 7-8 years ago. All right, so without any further ado, let's go back real quick. Okay, we're going to get back to this video because I want to play a snippet of it. But I want to get to this here. All right. The apostle had put this video up to another brother.
I was interviewing a guy one time and he started talking about the black Israelites.
I know you from somewhere, right? You know, news answer. Yeah, he's from the news. What is it? You know about us.
We're the real Jews. And
Okay, we're the descendants of Jacob. Jacob was a black man. Abraham was black. All right? Isaac, his son, was black.
right? It was like,
So if you're an Edomite, there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can go to slavery. That's the only thing you can do.
That's only right, man.
We were enslaved under you.
and it wasn't on camera, but I was like, I don't.
See, and he said he made the point of saying that it wasn't on camera. See, he didn't know that we had the cameras rolling during that time. Okay, you know, he doesn't think that this pretty much this information would resurface. And I actually did see this video in real time. This was on the Lex Freeman show. Pretty much, and this video has pretty much went viral. I think at the time, this video pretty much has about 12 to 13 million views at this point. Okay, and this video here was pretty much done 2 months ago. Okay, so now that he made this statement about 2 months ago. Now, mind you, this is after he came back from Russia. Now he's making this claim here. Now the video prior to that with him on 34th and 7th at the old camp, you know, that pretty much was about 7 to 8 years ago. Okay, so now this is what he's referring to, you know, and this is beautiful that the brother had pretty much put this up together. But I'm going to add another piece to this puzzle as well, maybe two more. So let's continue this.
It was so far out to me that
We didn't have a choice.
Well, provided that you're an Edomite. If you're an Edomite, then you're going into slavery.
I was like, we'll never kind of understand common terms on that.
Yeah, and the fact is that he made
forensic scientist who worked on
he made that statement about that because it was something that he's pretty much denying, so to speak. It doesn't really want to come to the truth of it. Okay, now from there, Salakia, I want to get a video that the apostle had put up. Should be in my feed. Let's see. Bear with me. About the boxer. Now, let's do it this way. Let's go. All right. About the boxer, Usyk. Okay, pretty much now that he defeated Tyson Fury in that heavyweight fight this past weekend. And now this is a video where the apostle pretty much goes into him training, and he's pretty much praying to, these dark images. You see? This is pretty much what the apostle was going into, okay? And this is concerning Ukraine, okay? This is a Ukrainian fighter, right? Pretty much this is from Male Sport Boxing, trained with Usyk ahead of epic Tyson Fury fight, okay? But pretty much the title of the apostle's video was Usyk prays to black icons. He knows that the Israelites are black people. Okay, now let's keep this in mind now. Okay, now getting to another part of the video that I originally had put up. I want to get to back to Putin with his interview with Carlson Tucker. Now, we're going to get to this part here. Okay, this is a very important part now, because now he has gone into the history of the Ukraine-Russian relations. And he's going to gesture to his assistant. And I'm just going to play maybe about a minute or so of this video, so we just get the gist of this lesson. So without any further ado.
Вы не думали, что я что-то придумал? So that you don't think that I'm inventing things. I'll give you these documents.
Well, it doesn't sound like you're inventing it. I'm not sure why it's relevant to what happened 2 years ago.
But still, these are documents from the archives, copies. Here are the letters from Bogdan Khmelnytsky, the man who then controlled the power in this part of the Russian lands that is now called Ukraine. He wrote to Warsaw demanding that their rights be upheld, and after being refused, he began to write letters to Moscow, asking to take them under the strong hand of the Moscow Tsar. There are copies of the...
Now, this copy right here, the copies of those documents, okay? All right? In our archives, pretty much. And I'm pretty much sure that several icons are in there, okay? Going back into the history. Because, well, when Putin was pretty much going into this long-winded history of Ukraine and Russian relations, Tucker Carlson kind of cut him off a few times during that speech, okay? Because he went on for about 20 to 30 minutes straight. But he was pretty much going back to the Byzantine Empire times. You see? Okay? So now we're catching the tail end of this part of the interview where he's going into the history. Now listen carefully to what he says.
These documents, I will leave them for your good memory. There is a translation into Russian. You can translate it into English later. Russia would not agree to admit them straight away, assuming that the war with Poland would start. Nevertheless, in 1654, the Pan-Russian Assembly of top clergy and landowners, headed by the Tsar...
He said 1654, all right? When the land was controlled by the Tsars. And the Tsars pretty much go back to the stock of Jacob. Okay, the Tsars were the last ruling monarchy in Russia before the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917. Okay, so prior to 1917, Jake was all up in Russia. This is why you have a lot of these archives that were there to this day. You see? All right, now he's speaking about Russian and Ukraine relations. But there were Tsars that were pretty much set up that were ruling these lands, man. They all go back to the stock of Jacob, man. These were the last descendants of Jacob, okay, which were pretty much taken down through so-called Christian persecution in 1917. You see?
Which was the representative body of the power of the old Russian state, decided to include a part of the old Russian lands into Moscow Kingdom. As expected, the war with Poland began.
And that's really pretty much the point right there. Now, this interview was pretty much about a month and a half before Putin pretty much came out with the receipts on the Russian icons. The videos that pretty much have gone viral. These videos have pretty much been ridiculed, They've been pretty much taken down. And this information, has not really reached mainstream though, but it has gone viral through the source of the internet. You see? So now, don't think for a second that Tucker Carlson doesn't have the receipts on what he was encountering, okay, amongst the prophets, man. Okay? Because amongst that book that he gave him, okay, which is pretty much the receipts of the history, okay, that he was going into. You see? And this is no secret that Putin and his people, they pretty much pray to these so-called black icons, man. You see? But Tucker Carlson pretty much has people, and his father as well, pretty much an accomplished person throughout the media and in the political realm. Okay, had close ties to the Republican Party, and people in so-called high places, such as the CIA. Don't think for a second that this man does not know what this truth is, and the truth is always have been spoken of to be to suppress it, so to speak. But right now, man, we in a time of truth, and we got them cornered, man. We got them cornered, man. The truth is already coming out, man. But look, right now we're in the midst of it beginning to be a transfer of power, so to speak. Okay? So I'm going to start with 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And this will be the beginning of the end of this place, man. Okay? When this place pretty much implodes fully from the inside out. We got everything's all in place to where this place is one little crisis, okay? And this place is pretty much is going to be turned upside down. This place is going to turn into another a season of change, so to speak. All right, we've seen that from when you go back to 9/11. The world was a different place after that particular time. Fast forward to 2019, 2020, during the pandemic, that was another part of time where the world had changed, the way of living have changed, and really, when you think about it, when you look back, you see it, how things are so different from before that happened. You see the difference. People would be even craving to have bring it back to 2017, 18. They seem like the times were much easier for people back then. You see? But now you're seeing how a new way of life has, a crisis has and pretty much came upon a scene to change a way of life. And now, what's pretty much in store now this time, okay, coming up, all right, the sown places will appear to be unsown, okay? And this is going to be the ultimate downfall of what the apostles was telling Tucker Carlson pretty much 8 years ago, okay? Of what his fate is, man, okay? Which is pretty much servitude. You see? Thus say the scriptures, okay? Right? It says, verse 23, and the trumpet shall give a sound, in which every man heareth, they shall there shall be suddenly afraid. And this is really the time when the Lord pretty much is making inquisition of this place, man. Okay? Again, the transfer of power, man, from Esau unto Jacob, man. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You see? And it says, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. Right? The so-called Egyptians against the Egyptians. Okay? Babylonians against the Babylonians. You see? Okay, you're going to start to see that time coming, man. All right? Pretty much everybody's on edge now. You're seeing anxiety at an all-time high. And people are just really just bugging out over the littlest things, man. Okay? These people don't have no backbone and no foundation, man. Okay? These people are going to pretty much go back to that barbaric mentality, man. Okay? All right? The time of evil is coming upon us, man. So it says, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. You see, and the earth is going to be in fear, man. Okay? It says that the mighty man shall be afraid. the houses are going to be shut up. You see? And it says, the springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. You know? So a lot of the resources and everything else are pretty much going to come to an end and be cut off, man, in that time, man. And pretty much all of the infrastructure to cut these supplies off is in place, man. You see? All right? It says, whosoever remaineth of all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation in the end of your world. And that's pretty much really the remnant, man. Okay? The remnant is only the ones that are able to see these things, man. You see? And it says, and the men that are received shall see it. The remnant, right? Who have not tasted death from their birth. And the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed into another meaning. Okay, and going back to Corinthians, the 15th chapter. Okay, what Paul said, man, in the twinkling of an eye, we shall all be changed. Okay, you see, we're going to wake in the likeness of the Lord. You know, it says, verse 27, for evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. And as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which hath been so long without fruit shall be declared. You know, pretty much the saints are going to take the kingdom, man. You know, and pretty much, man, you know, this man right now, he's pretty much has been given the receipts, so to speak, man. You know, right in his hand. Let's play it again.
Think that I'm inventing things. I'll give you these documents.
Well, it doesn't sound like you're inventing it. I'm not sure why it's relevant to what happened to
He
you.
does it with a grin too, because like I said, he knows that there's probably icons and everything else that's in there within that those documents. You see, he's going into history, and again, I must stress it, man. He's gone all the way back to the Byzantine Empire, man. Speaking about the history of Russia and Ukraine relations, man. You see, okay, and Tucker Carlson thinking that it's not necessary, but all he needed to do was be able to. This book was given into him, so he left the country with that book, and of course he had to look into the book to see whatever else he can gather up, and pretty much it's tying into everything that we've been speaking about and everything that he's been told specifically. Okay, you know, but still, you know, Psalms 83 still is trying to be in effect. Okay, but it's gonna be for naught at the end of the day. You see? All right, so with that, you know, I'm going to end it there. And I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.